We'll be looking at a few different ways to use function notation today. And the first way we're going to do that is by looking at a graph. So on your foldable, you should have this and you'll be writing as I go through these. So when we have a graph, we are usually plotting together ordered pairs and coordinates. So you'll notice on this graph here, the highlighted coordinate is the coordinate for 1. Every coordinate has an x value and a y value, and as you can fill in here, the x value comes first and the y value comes second. Another way of writing this is f of x equals y. So the x coordinate, which is your input for your function, goes in parentheses, and what comes out the other side of the equal sign is your y coordinate. So always remember x is your input, it goes in your parentheses, and we place it there in our function notation, and what comes out the other side is our y value or our output. So at the top there you have in general how xy becomes f of x equals y. Now we're going to try using this exact example here. So the first thing you're going to see is this point right here, f of 4 equals blank. So we're trying to figure out here, f of 4 equals blank. So when the input is 4, what comes out? So when my input is 4, my x value is 4, my y value is going to be 1. The next thing we're looking at is finding f of 0. So I have a new input. My input is now 0. So my input of 0 is right here. And I trace that down, find my graph, boom, and my y value down here is -1. So when f of 0 equals -1, an x coordinate of 0 corresponds with a y coordinate of -1. We'll do this again with an x coordinate of -2. So -2 is back here. Go down, find your graph, same thing. This time we're going to do it in green. -2, trace it down, find your graph. And our output is actually the same as our input here. The output, the y value that corresponds with that x value for our function is again -2. Finally, this last question is a different way of asking the same thing. It's saying when f of x equals 0, meaning the output is 0, what was our input? So what you want to do now is look for your output of 0. So when the y value was 0 right here, where was our input? So our input was here at 2, so we were working backwards from the y value this time. So now we have f of x equals 0. What input gives us an output of 0? And the answer is 2.